We're breaking down a clear, step-by-step tutorial for beginners to completely bulletproof your knees after 40. We're going to use 3 ancient Shaolin Tendon secrets that literally go against everything modern gym culture teaches us.
All right, let's look at this massive number, 2.9 million. That is roughly how many steps pass directly through your knee every single year. Think about that. Your knee is not just some simple door hinge. It rotates, it glides, it tilts, and it handles force from 6 different directions, all at the same time with every single one of those 2.9 million steps. That is an absolutely incredible amount of mechanical stress day in and day out.
And this is exactly why our standard reaction to knee pain is completely backwards. When our knees hurt, conventional wisdom says, hey, rest up. We avoid deep squats, we stop kneeling, we run away from the pain. But here's the thing, tendons actually require mechanical stress to stay dense. When you stop loading them, they don't just rest, they actively regress. They stiffen up, they get weaker, and your muscles lose their coordination. So to fix this, we have to train tendons totally differently than muscles. They don't care about reps and chasing fatigue. What they really want is time under tension and gradual positional exposure.
So let's get into it. Secret 1. Structural endurance.
To establish the rock-solid baseline strength your knee needs to survive the daily grind, we have to look at the science. There's a biological process called creep. Basically, when a tendon holds a heavy load for an extended amount of time without moving, it slowly deforms and stretches out. But here is where the magic happens. When you do this patiently and progressively, the tissue actually rebuilds itself far denser and way stronger than it was before. This static hold mechanism is exactly what makes our first exercise such a game changer.
Okay, here's how to execute this perfectly. We're doing the wall sit. But wait, this is not that terrible 90-degree version you probably hated in high school gym class. Step 1. Adopt a wall sit at a much higher angle, right around 45 to 60 degrees. Step 2. Focus the load directly on the patellar tendon. That's the thick band right below your kneecap. Now, why the higher angle? Well, at 45 to 60 degrees, your leg muscles fatigue really quickly and they just stop helping. This forces the patellar tendon to bear the vast majority of the weight. And step 3. Hold it with absolute zero movement. Just sustained, quiet pressure. Now, a super crucial point for beginners here is managing your expectations. Start with just a 60-second hold. If your legs are violently shaking and you can't even make it past a minute the first time, seriously don't sweat it. That is not weakness, that is incredibly valuable information. It's telling you exactly where your structural endurance ends and where your adaptation needs to begin. Just add a little more time progressively each week. Your ultimate goal? 2 to 3 minutes unbroken.
Moving right along to Secret 2, Tendon Density.
Once you've built up that solid foundation, we need to level up and prepare your knee for the unpredictable real world. It's all about training the edges of your mobility, so you aren't fragile when life inevitably throws you off balance. To do this, we rely on proprioception. This is basically your connective tissue's ability to sense your joint's exact position in space. It's that built-in reflex that instantly catches you when you slip on some ice or trip on a curb. By pushing into deep, controlled flexion, you're actively building this precise connective tissue awareness. It's literally the ultimate fall prevention mechanism.
Let's dive into the exact steps to build this density using the bow stance. Step 1. Get into a stance with one leg forward and one leg back. Step 2. Push that front knee forward deeply, well beyond the toes, but do it with absolute control. Step 3. Hold this deep position for 20 seconds. Now, I know for decades, fitness culture told us that letting your knees go past your toes was super dangerous. But modern biomechanical research has proven that when you progress it properly, this deep range actually strengthens the cartilage and the tendons. But hey, if you're a beginner, listen closely to this part. Start shallow. You only want to go maybe 5 degrees past your comfort zone. Do not force the flexibility. You have to let your tissue naturally reorganize and adapt over time. Trust me, the range is going to increase week by week all on its own without you having to aggressively push through any pain.
All right, Secret 3, Neuromuscular Control.
So we've built the foundation, and then we've built the density. Now we have to fix the precise communication between your brain and your knee's microscopic stabilizers. And you're going to experience a really weird phenomenon here. When you try this next, seemingly effortless drill, your leg is probably going to start violently shaking after just 20 seconds. So why does that happen when you're barely even moving?
Well, it happens because of the VMO, or the vastus medialis oblique. It's this tiny little teardrop-shaped muscle that sits right above and slightly inside your kneecap. Its entire job is to seamlessly guide the kneecap through its groove. But when the VMO gets weak, your kneecap starts pulling laterally. That's what causes that nasty grinding sensation you might feel when you're walking upstairs. Isolating this specific muscle completely restores the crucial neuromuscular communication you need for smooth, totally pain-free joint tracking. So here is your step-by-step guide for the VMO extension hold. Honestly, it looks embarrassingly simple. Step 1. Sit flat on the floor and extend your leg fully out in front of you. Step 2. lock your quadriceps as absolutely hard as you possibly can. Step 3, hold that intense lock for 30 seconds per leg and do 3 sets of that. And that crazy shaking you're gonna feel? That just proves the VMO is working entirely on its own without letting your hips or hamstrings cheat and help out.
Let's map this out with the 8-week progression timeline.
Okay, you've got the 3 secrets. But to actually make this work as a beginner without getting hurt, you need a concrete, highly specific roadmap. The absolute most important rule for this entire program is respect for the tissue. You're going to perform these routines 3 to 4 times per week. You don't need a gym, no special equipment at all. But here is the mandatory rule you cannot break. You must allow a minimum of 48 hours of recovery between sessions. Remember, tendons operate on a totally different timeline than muscles. If you get arrogant and try to push through tendon soreness, you're just going to delay your adaptation. You won't speed it up.
Here's exactly what you can expect to feel as you go. On day 1, you'll start your wall sit aiming for just 60 seconds. By week 4, you're actually going to feel a literal structural change in the joint. It's going to feel way more solid, more anchored. And by week 8, meaningful tendon tissue remodeling is fully achieved. True durability really does take patience, so please give it the full 8 weeks before you judge the results.
I really want to leave you with this incredibly powerful philosophy. Build the walls before the storm arrives. We shouldn't just be training our joints for the comfortable, predictable bodies we have right now while we're sitting on the couch. We have to train our knees for every single unexpected demand, every slip and every stumble life might throw at us down the road. Avoidance creates fragility, but preparation creates armor.
Your knees are not failing just because you're getting older, they just need the right kind of training. So I challenge you to start with the wall sit today, just 60 seconds. See what your knees are telling you. And hey, if this explainer hit a little differently than you expected, drop the word bulletproof in the comments below. Let me know which of these 3 exercises, the wall sit, the bow stance, or the VMO hold, do you think is going to challenge you the absolute most? I can't wait to read your answers.